One day, a package was delivered to the house.
Look at that, that's lovely.
Does that look nice, Claire?
Yeah. But with your stripey, with the stripey on top, will look fabulous. Where did you put your new one? You came in with a big envelope, and you said, "Oh, this is for me, look." And you opened it up, and inside was a polo neck.
That's right.
Yeah, where is it?
And then there was the night that Mum rang me at 1:30 a.m.
He was threatening to kill me. He was going completely mad.
People do make up things that to us aren't true, but to that person they may be very true.
Have you been given permission to have a room? Have I been commissioned? Now look, please don't raise your voice. Okay, go in there, whispering. So who has this whole building? College. What? Give your voice and sling it down. As far as I know, the college. What's college? Well, the university. The college and the university. Look. Before I bang your bloody head against this wall. Shut up.
So there'd been an event where there'd been friction, and the emotional feeling was, he doesn't care, he's angry, he wants to hurt me.
I hate this bloody building.
So that thought process goes largely unchecked. So there's no frontal lobe action coming in and going, now hang on now what happened with that behaviour? To your mum, she's interpreted that event as he tried to physically kill me.
I don't give a bugger who hears us. I'm going home. You're nuts.
One thing that won't help is, no, Mum, look, Dad's not going to do that. He loves you, you know? No, he tried to kill me. No, Mum, no, come on now. You probably, sure you haven't imagined this.
Do you mean Clive's my husband?
Which, of course, is exactly what I did.
Of course he's my daddy as well. He tried to kill me. He did try. He did try.
I would validate what she's saying first. So, Mum, you seem really upset. What's happened? Well, Dad's tried to kill me. Dad tried to hurt you? Yeah. Right, tell me more about that. Oh, well, we're having this argument. And it might be that actually just talking about it and expressing the emotion, they may be able to make sense of themselves, or it may pass. Because what you're doing is you're validating the experience.
Yes, okay. Thank you. Sorry. Bye.
So if you tell me now today you're really upset, Kim, and I say, no, come on, you're not upset. You're like, no, I am. I'm pretty sure I am. No, come on, you're not upset. No, come on. You know, I'm not validating your feelings, and I'm making you feel like, well, I'm not going to talk to you. Often you'll find that in care settings in the home, the person with dementia will gravitate to the person who does validate them, because that's what we all actually want in our lives, is validation and to feel heard. Other things that can happen. I've got to go. Thanks for having me. I've got to go now. I've got to go, and my dad will be waiting for me. My mum and dad will be waiting for me. You know, and I've got to go. And you're thinking, well, hang on, they're 92.
Trying to look after my mum, as I can't find the bed placer, and you know, I haven't got a place. Yeah.
It took me way too long to enter dementia world and stop correcting everything. I must have been hoping that the truth would steer them back to normality. But now I've learned to play along.
Before, I was more inclined to say, no, your mum's dead, or your daddy's no longer here. I wasn't saying quite dead, but, you know, sort of no longer here. Because as a registered general nurse, I would always be told to tell the truth. So I've had to adapt. But now it is working. So I just go along with her and say, yes, mummy's gone out shopping, or daddy's gone out shopping, or the children have gone to bed, or they've gone out, this sort of thing.
But easier said than done in a lot of frustrating circumstances.
This is your home.
Well, Clive and
yours at home. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It's your house and Clive's
He
house.
didn't know. No.
Because Clive designed it.
My boyfriend.
know?
Who's your boyfriend? We're getting a bit complicado here, aren't we?
No.
Good family friend, developed dementia. She ended up in a care home. I knew she hadn't walked anywhere for 4 or 5 months. But I went to see her and, hi, how are you doing? And, I've had a great day today. I walked down the village and I went in a couple of shops and I got my bits and pieces and I walked back up the hill. I would never sit there and say, did you really though? No, you didn't do that. Come on, what are you on about? Don't be daft. Now, some people will, and it just causes distress. All I just said was, well, that sounds like you've been super busy today, all the way down there and all the way back up again. Yeah. And you may be thinking, well, why are you supporting that? Because what that lady was doing in that instance was, I asked her a question. It was me who led that. What have you been doing today? The brain will think, what have I been doing today? And in dementia, because of the damage, it'll go for, what did I usually do that day? So I'll tell you what my usual pattern is. I'm not lying, I'm making mistakes. You've asked me a question, I'm trying to fill that gap. So I may pick something and then people say they're talking nonsense. Well, they're not talking nonsense. They are simply trying to make a puzzle out of something where they've only got 3 or 4 pieces. But maybe I've got 5 or 6 pieces from 6 years ago. I'll use them.
Michelle is a clinical nurse specialist and understands how we all feel in pursuit of the truth.
This is an example I had in a nursing home where a carer told me there was a lady who poked her in the shoulder and said to her, "You don't like me, do you? Because you didn't make me a cup of coffee this morning." This poor carer got out duty rotas and everything to try and prove to this lady that she wasn't in work. Complete waste of time. I said to her, look, you would have been far better off if you had just said to her, "Oh my gosh, never. Oh, I'm so sorry. I must have forgotten you. Come with me, I'll make you a cup of coffee now." You will not change their mind. Once they've got an idea, you will not change it. So you're far better off going, "I'm sorry, it was my fault," at the start.
We have got a boy who isn't old enough to drive his own car, whom Pauline assumed could be brought in here because she knew he was here.
Memories don't seem to reside in just one place in the brain. There is some division of what we call everyday working memory that is often becomes very poor in people living with Alzheimer's disease. So that immediate memory doesn't work. So you might not remember who you saw a few minutes ago. You might not remember what you had for your lunch. But if you might find that you can remember what you did 30 or 40 years ago. And that's because although your everyday working memory might be abnormal and very poor, the memories that you laid down many, many years ago can be in a part of the brain that is not that affected by Alzheimer's at a particular stage.
There is no boy around. Absolutely nobody.
Even if there was,
Oh, yeah. We wouldn't be bringing him in.
we wouldn't be able to bring him in.
I'd be calling the police.
Another thing that happens a lot with sort of memory sort of loss is a term called confabulation.
Confabulation is the term for generating memories, an individual generating memories that are factually not correct.
I could only allow myself 2 children.
Clive, what would you like to eat
I
next?
took one with me
You're
to
okay.
a house, and it was a child's house, and she went in and she had money, and I asked for them to work out the money things and let us know. Right, so that was done. There wasn't anybody else. And so I then came back here,
And then I decided that it would be easier to take some things and go into Swansea.
Come on, let's go. Right, let's go next door.
What's that?
I think he's upset.
Why?
Oh.
Why? I'm just saying what I'm doing.
Some people think of our memories as being like, well, I just get this information, I download it into my head, and then when I need it, I just retrieve it or whatever. We're not like that at all. We are very much reconstructive, subjective reconstructors. That means that already, for you and I, for anybody with no form of brain injury, memory itself is not fixed. The trouble is, when that editing system starts to malfunction, what starts to happen is the parameters for what is considered real or acceptable or I could have experienced also blurs quite considerably.
So what did Dad say when he woke up one morning to find that Mum had gone?
What do you mean today? What happened?
He'd woken up next to her for the last 60 years.
Try and work it out in my brain as I'm talking to you now.
At this stage, we had carers calling to give medication every morning. So they didn't know Mum had been admitted to a psychiatric ward last night. Not something you'd think Dad would forget.
There's someone downstairs. I'm going to go down. I'll come back up in a second, okay?
With daily carer Malcolm arrived an explanation.
Malcolm is here. Yep. Your carer, Malcolm. He said your wife hasn't passed away. She's in the hospital. He's going to take you to visit her now. Is that okay?
Much better.
There we are. Yes, much better. Well, that's better outcome, isn't it? Bit better. Okay? That's okay.
The truth was a welcome relief. But for the week that Mum was away, Dad returned to the death explanation every time he wondered where she was. It was his default, requiring a lot of patience from carers and family alike. I wish I'd known then what I know now.
That is 2 in the morning. 2 o'clock in the morning, look. Yeah, lie down. Come on, please. I want to go to sleep.
Thanks to Nick Johnson and Teepa Snow, to remain curious, cautious and courageous.
Good night. Go to sleep. It's okay.